Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Balanced Vibes podcast. I am your host, Kersten. Today, we're talking about this idea that you have to earn the right to, that's not to eat a cookie, you have to earn the right to go into a calorie deficit and start fat loss. What the heck do I mean by that? What do you mean I have to earn the right? Well, this is exactly what it is. You really have to earn the right. You have to do certain things before you are allowed, in my opinion, to go into calorie deficit. And so many times women are actually not ready to do this. They want to do this, they want to skip steps, but you cannot skip steps. So this is what we're going to talk about today. And before that, as always, I would love to see you in my Fit and Fueled Facebook group. Please join. The link is below. And if you are serious about changing your body composition, you may want to have better muscle definition, more muscle, more physical strength, or you may want to have fat loss and you want to do this in a healthy way, guys. You want to do this in a healthy way, then join the group. This is the place to be because we're not doing diets. We actually do workouts that work and we are getting the results. And you also get a lot of support from this group. I am there multiple times a week doing lives. Usually I did only one live a week. Now I've been really doing a lot of lives, some days, some weeks, even 5 live videos a week, plus then additional helpful materials, everything designed so that you can get the results that you want. So join the group and I will see you in there. Now, let's go back to calorie deficit. Let's talk about that. And why is it that you have to earn the right? And what do I even mean by that? Right? Sounds kind of crazy. And the only context that you have maybe ever heard about, earning the right to XYZ might be like, you got to earn the right to eat cookies. Like Thanksgiving workout is a perfect example. You got to earn the right to eat the turkey, or before Christmas dinner, you got to earn the right to eat this and that. No, this is not what we actually want to talk about. We're talking about the opposite thing here. So why I'm talking about this is that so many women want to start their fat loss goal without realizing that their metabolism is not in a healthy place for it at all. And actually, in my next episode, I'm going to tell you what are the signs of really strong and solid healthy metabolism. So, but first, how do you know that you're not ready? How do you know that you have not earned the right to go into calorie deficit? Well, for example, if you have been yo-yo dieting often, right? You've done one diet and then the next and the next, and you come back to the first one, you try the fourth one, and you do like crazy stuff like that. And your poor metabolism is just way too beat up, right? It cannot handle another deficit, which is what you're trying to do when you have a fat loss goal. So if you've been yo-yo dieting a lot, your metabolism just spread so thin that if you put more stress on it, which calorie deficit will be, it is just not going to be able to handle it. And not only are you not getting results, your weight actually may go in the opposite direction. Ask anybody who has done a million different diets, and you'll hear probably that at one point they actually started gaining weight, even though their calories were low. Now, you also don't have the right to go into calorie deficit if you have already been in a calorie deficit for more than 6 months. And the reason that is actually very similar, your metabolism just needs a break. It has been overexhausted by you doing so many calorie cuts and being in a deficit all the time. Now you're just not going to get results if you push the deficit even deeper, right? The next reason why you're not ready and you have not yet earned the right to go into calorie deficit is that you have been doing exhausting HIIT training and lots of cardio workouts with the goal of calorie burning. So you probably already know that if you do lots of cardio, you do lots of HIIT training, you also take down a lot of your muscle mass. And you are also making your metabolism much, much lower. But before heading into a calorie cut, you want to make sure that your metabolism is as high as possible, right? As high as possible. So if you've been doing a lot of these super stressful workouts and you barely ever rested, then you have not yet earned the right to go into a calorie deficit. Now, the next thing is if you have been eating very low carbohydrates for months, which is often combined with lots of long fasting, 16 plus hours, which is especially bad for women who are still getting their menstrual cycles, really bad for their hormonal health. And when we're taking out the carbohydrates, when we're fasting a lot, we are really putting a lot of pressure on our adrenals and our liver too, and our thyroid hormones will start to tank as well, not making you ready for fat loss at all, because fat loss means calorie deficit and your body is already in a highly stressed out state. So nope, you're not ready to head into calorie deficit, have not earned the right yet. The next thing is women who are always stressed out, hypervigilant, they're running their adrenaline and cortisol, and they're fueling themselves with tons of coffee. This is not a good sign. And your body, again, why does it need so much coffee? Because it doesn't have its own energy, right? Why do you have to always do this intense workout? Because they give you this momentary adrenaline rush where you feel good and now you have energy. But this is not your baseline. Energy is not your baseline. If you need constant stimulation in the form of caffeine or adrenaline, right, to feel alive. So if this is what you're doing, a typical example would be just something like, in the morning, I do, no breakfast, then I do coffee, and then I do a high intensity workout. Sorry, if this has been going on for months, I'm not giving you I'm not giving you the green light for fat loss. All right. And finally, if you have noticeable hormonal issues, which is, as a result of all of the things that I just mentioned before, then also you're not ready. So if you get like really terrible periods, they're irregular, they're non-existing, you're not ovulating, you have all kinds of problems going on there, then you are not ready to head into a calorie cut. So does it mean that you can never cut calories if you checked off some of these points here? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that you need to repair your metabolism. You need to build it back up again. And this is why I start most of my ladies in the first phase of fat loss, which is the build-up phase. So we're not even getting into calorie deficit right away. We have to build up the resilience before. And so that now your metabolism will be healthier, your hormones will be in a much better place, your thyroid will be much better. So you need to have all these things in place before you start putting new additional stress on yourself. I hope it makes sense. So what does then the build-up phase look like? How do you earn the right to go into calorie deficit? Well, first of all, most women have to increase their food quantity. If they have been eating low calories for a long time or yo-yo dieting, then we have to get themselves to a place where the calories are now high enough. They are at least at your maintenance, and also the food quality. So a lot of times I see way too much like processed foods where like 50% of the daily intake or like 60% of the daily intake are stuff that comes from packages and things like that. That's not good. So we have to increase both of your food quantity and your food quality for your overall health, to make your metabolism and your hormones more resilient, right? So that you can handle the calorie cut later. The next thing, how you earn your right, is to lift bigger weights. That means, no, this is not Orange Theory. This is not like 17 million. I don't know why I like the 17 million example all the time. Small reps with like 10-pound weights. This is not what big girl weights look like. Big girls' weights look like lifting heavy barbells, heavy dumbbells, at least twice a week, 2 to 4 times a week, so that you actually challenge yourself, so that you rest between the sets, so that you focus on the 5 compound movements: squat, overhead press, deadlift, row, and bench press. These are your 5 major lifts. And of course, you can add in, and you will add in other lifts too, but this is really the foundation, and you have to push yourself and challenge yourself so that you need to rest between the sets, right? Again, no 15-second breaks, no like 40 seconds, work as hard as you can, do many reps. No. And that's why I'm not doing like, let's everybody get together on Facebook and do workouts, because everybody's pace is going to be different. Actually, somebody just told me recently, I would join your Facebook group, but you don't do like group workouts there. And yeah, I don't do group workouts there. So if this is what you're looking for, it's not the right place, because people need different everybody has different pace. So I cannot expect that, Julie and Mary and Anne are everybody doing their 10 squats at the same pace, right? And then, if there's so many variables. So I would rather give you the program. I'm happy to check your form, but I'm not going to do like group workouts, because this is not a boot camp that we're doing here. All right, then the next thing, how you get ready and how you earn the right, is to start sleeping more. So if your sleep is very poor, and if you just don't spend too much time sleeping, you're trying to get away with 5 hours, we have to fix that. The next thing, you have to take relaxing walks. So again, we're not doing like uphill treadmill, like super fast, halfway, kind of like pretty much running. No, it's relaxing, cortisol reducing walks, because the whole thing is here that we want you to feel more relaxed. We want to do more restorative stuff. Yeah, we go to the gym and we lift heavy stuff, but then outside of that, we find ways to relax more, bring our bodies back into this more parasympathetic state, which is something that I talked about in the previous episode. Now, another thing how we can get you ready and you earn the right to do fat loss is to start eating at regular intervals. That also means you start eating breakfast. I am not a fan of those 16 plus hour fast. You probably know that. I want you to eat regularly. About every 3-4 hours is reasonable. Another thing is we have to eat carbohydrates, ladies. We have to eat carbohydrates. I know it's so wildly popular right now. When I look around, it's everywhere. Just go keto. Just do intermittent fasting combined with keto. And this is a bad idea for most of us. It's a bad idea, hormonally speaking, metabolically speaking, drives down your metabolic rate. You lose muscle with that. I don't love it. So I want you to eat breakfast, which is about 10 to 12 hours after you've had your dinner. You don't have to stretch it to 16 hours. And you can also eat carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, you guys, are important. Everybody always talks about protein for muscle building. Obviously, yes, does matter, very important. But carbohydrates are as well. Now, calming down in general is another thing that will help you to get closer to that fat loss phase. If you want to start doing this, you have to start calming down. And again, go back and listen to my previous episode where I talked about the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system and why we have to spend more time in the parasympathetic if we want to change our body composition. And part of it is just calming down a little bit more. And the last thing, as a result of all the things that I mentioned, your hormones heal, your metabolic rate will be higher, and you will get healthier. And this is how you earn the right to start fat loss. Now, we're going to have to live in this state for several months, right? Doing all the things, increasing food quality, quantity, lifting higher weights, sleeping more, taking relaxing walks, eating at regular intervals, eating carbohydrates, not doing intermittent fasting, calming down in general. So we have to maintain that. We have to build that baseline of health. Baseline of health. This is how you earn the right to go into calorie deficit, not by doing another diet, right? I really want to hammer this home. So now you've been doing this for several months, and now your body is so much more resilient so that now we can go into, and listen to this, moderate calorie cuts, moderate. Not talking about going from 2,400 to 14. No, not like that, right? The cut is going to be smaller so that your body can stay as healthy as possible, right? And this cut is not also going to last for 8 months or 10 months or 8 years or 10 years. The cut is going to last way less because we want to keep your body healthy. Of course, we want you to get results, and you will get them if you listen to what I'm telling you and letting me guide you, but also for health reasons. We just can't stay in a deficit for too long. All right. So I hope this makes sense for you, why you have to do the thing called earning the right to start fat loss. Very important to understand that, because if you start from a sort of a broken place, it's only going to be, you're just going to struggle. You're just going to struggle. You're not going to get the result. And you're also making your health much worse. So if you want to do it the healthy way, first step, join the Fit of Fuel Facebook group and get in touch with me if you need one-on-one help with this. All right, you guys, hope this was helpful. Make sure to share this with your friends and family. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Bye-bye.